Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Spouse is hiding conversation with a very close friend. My wife and I have been married for 10 plus years in the US. 2 kids, young less than 7. We have been having a good marriage overall so far. Usual ups and downs. We stay in the state where the wife has spent almost all her life. She developed very close friendships during her college days. Of those friends, my wife is very close to 3 of them. Let's call them R, F, H, M, and X. M, X and R are brother and sister. H and R are husband and wife. Now, during college time the wife had some short-term relationship with X and that got over, or not, before graduation. X moved out of the US 10 years back. HR and U's used to live very close by in the same state. We used to hang out every weekend and used to have the best of times. H and R decided to move out of the US to help X with business about 5 to 6 years back. Wife has been a very close friend of ours since H and R moved out of the US. Wife has not made any such close friends after they left, which has reflected on her life in many ways. Keeping in short, in the past 6 months all R, H and X decided to move back to the US. RH has 2 kids, similar age to ours, and X is now married to J and has 2 kids too, similar age to ours. So, as soon as the news came, my wife has become genuinely happy about her friends returning. They are doing gradual moves where H and X are moving here first, find/set up a place to live and then moms move with kids. So, X came to the US about 2 months back. Came to see us and we offered him to stay for few days until he finds a place or decides which stay they want to settle down. 3 weeks back H came down and they, HR and XJ decided to stay in a different state, since H already found a job there. Last week we requested both H and X to come join us for the 4 to 5 days at our home. We could spend time together and relive some old fun times. H and X joined us. During this time around, I felt very strong vibes going on between X and my wife. Leading up to the time H and X arrives, my wife shopped around, got hair done, etc. I was not suspecting anything. But, last Friday morning I walked into the room where X was and noticed my wife was giving him a hug, while X was in bed. X was sitting on the bed with a laptop and was trying to take an online class. As soon as I walked in, they were surprised and X said, "Can you please check my temp, am I feeling feverish?" And my wife played along to check. This incident threw all red flags at me. I did not talk about this incident with my wife right away. However, it was bothering me. Between Friday and Saturday none of them, wife or X, came up to me to explain the situation. However, both acted very alerted. H and X left on Sunday morning to drive up to the state they are settling down. Sunday afternoon I confronted my wife about the incident. She mentions that she was just giving a friendly hug to X. I asked, why in bed? To which she accepted that maybe in bed it was wrong and it leads me to think whatever I'm thinking. I also told her that I felt very strong vibes between you and X and at times I felt that I was not needed around at certain times during the stay. Wife denies there is nothing going on. I tell my wife, the only thing I can do is accept her work that nothing is going on at this point. H and X reached their destination state by Sunday evening. Sunday evening I confront my wife again that she is still in constant contact with X. Wife denies. I can see messages going back and forth and my wife keeps deleting them. Wife claims that confrontation between me and her is only between us. But, all has been communicated to X. To see how to deal with the situation. Monday, I confront my wife again, saying, I strongly feel I'm being lied to. Wife denies and keeps standing there is nothing. I again ask, if they both are in touch in any shape or form. Wife mentions that X calls to inform something and that is about it. but, in the morning back and forth messages are going on and getting deleted. Wife is clearly hiding contact and discussion with ex, not sure what else might be in this can of worms. Any support, thoughts, suggestions on how to navigate further? I plan to give the last and final chance tomorrow to come out clean about back and forth messaging and being in touch. P.S. All confrontations include lots of tears. Update 1. So, I was able to get insights into some of the deleted stuff. Not all. But, that some show me, that ex is constantly guiding wife to hold a stand that nothing happened. Ask her to keep repeating, give more attention to me, not talk to him too much, etc. Keeps reassuring things that will settle down in time. And we, ex and wife, will make it right. I was also able to confirm that my wife tried calling ex twice, but at the time he was not available. Ex calls back after a few hours and they have about 3 minutes convo. Talking about what all my wife has tried telling me and I'm not getting fully convinced. My wife also asks ex to check with someone if deleted messages can be retrieved, etc. At this point I'm certain that hiding is for a bigger reason. Not certain about physicality. But, emotional is certain. Also, the web of lies is never small. If there is so much effort being put into hiding something, not sure what the box of chocolate contains. Now, I have to figure out what I do. I have been a nice guy all my life. That NG tendency kicks in. There are 2 key points. Kids, too young currently. Wife, as I have known her for 10 years, her existing medical conditions will explode leading to further mental and physical distress, all of this while she will be trying to deal everything all alone. Ex will emotionally support, maybe, but ex will not give up family for my wife, I'm certain about that, but there was a boundary that was crossed consciously. I can't put these 2 plus 2 together. Update 2. Lots of roller coasters today. But, towards the end of this it gets so ridiculous that I started to laugh and feel liberated from my NG tendencies, of making every effort to keep this relationship. As mentioned earlier, I have access to messages being exchanged, they keep deleting the messages, so not able to see/capture all of them. During the day calls and messages goes back and forth, and from one of the messages it seems ex is trying to convince wife to not keep in touch to save the marriage. Wife clearly responds with she can't let go of both. Wife mentions that she cannot just shut down her feelings for ex. At some point the wife puts blame on ex too, twice. 1, if ex did not put them together in the past, during college days, they would not have been in this situation. 2, later in the evening, again tells ex, he should not have come to US and gone to some other country to settle and this would not have been the situation. Lots of back and forth, not sure I have access to calls. Ex keeps convincing wife to show me love, affection and attention and not keep in contact with him. Regardless, here is the juicy part and most liberating for me. Following what ex is guiding wife to do, wife's way of talking changes and she tries to show affection. At a point in late afternoon before I wrap up work, COVID, work from home, while I'm working my wife wraps her arms around me and does some lovey-dovey talk. I was engrossed in the work email I was typing, but forgot to completely hide their messages I was monitoring. After a minute or 2, wife questions, why are my messages showing on your screen? I adjusted and gave her control of my laptop to assure her that there is nothing. She questions and I tell her there is nothing as well as show her everything on the laptop that is open, nothing. I needed to step out right after for kids activity and pick up dinner. Messages and maybe calls happen between wife and ex, while I'm gone. Wife leaves only messages that shows that they are talking about me having misunderstanding about them. As soon as I return, wife asks again about her messages on my laptop. I tell her yes, those were her messages. Wife asks why, I say because you are clearly hiding what is going on. Wife takes this in, digests this a bit, while kids are hungry we all sit down to have dinner. Wife still processing. Some tears. Wife asks, so what did you find? I say you have been deleting messages, so I don't know. Now, my wife digests this too. finishes dinner quickly and starts back and forth messages. I do not have a view, but am sure they messaged late in the night and have deleted and kept only what I need to see. Also, wife has started taking an angry stand towards me, for me invading her privacy. Wife has been using anger forever to gain control, in each and every situation. This whole episode has actually helped me make a firm decision that it's only kids and me now. It is so amazing to notice that ex and wife, in such situations just follows a script and the fogged vision blocks so much for them to see. P.S. I will sure start navigating this via r/survivinginfidelity as recommended. I appreciate everyone's time to read this and show me direction and advice. Support in such times is so much necessary, and in situations like this, very difficult to find such support with close family members or close friends. Spouse hiding conversations after multiple confrontations, need support as it's me and kids only. Need support. My original thread was posted in RA sub, with 2 updates. Since this is a more suited sub, I was advised to post it here. TLDR. Wife had a relationship with ex during college time. Broke up. Ex moved countries. Wife and I have been married for 10+ years. But my wife's affection for ex never vanished. Ex moved back recently to the US. We are trying to help them get started in life. Ex has a family and 2 kids, but the family has not moved yet. Friday morning, I walked up to ex's room and found my wife was giving a hug to ex, while ex was working with a laptop on lap. As soon as I enter the room, taken by surprise, ex mentions, "I'm feeling hot, can you plaza check if I have a fever?" Wife plays along. Both sense that my red flags have gone off. But, none of them comes out clean. On my asking my wife, she mentions it was a friendly hug. I start monitoring messages and find emotional checks out. Most probably more is there, but I don't have access to all messages. And starts our confrontations, tears, and more tears, and lots of them. 2 updates in the above post capture all this drama. Update 3, today's update. My DL was blown off yesterday and I came clean mentioning what I was looking at. Update 2 covers all of what happened till yesterday. Yesterday, I think after I went to bed, my wife had back and forth messages with ex and she walked out of the bedroom saying our marriage is done anyways. Comes back after CP hours and sleeps in the same bed as me. I can feel she is having a sleepless night and the same here. Today, I think in the morning she had a bit of talk with ex and ex is trying to help her with how to navigate this and stay on nothing happened. And what she could do, like show me more affection, show me more love, come close to me etc, saying men like attention and whatnot, and she should keep saying that it's all in my head. So, my wife comes to me while I'm working and just hugs me, cries a lot and says sorry for anything that I have in mind and nothing happened. All this while she has never even brought up once that she will give up talking to or relationship with ex. Kids are around too, so we find time and a place to talk. In today's talk, wife confronts me about reading her messages and me lying to her. I let her know that if I do not know the truth, I will try to find it. She called me out on reading her messages and I actually showed her how I was doing. How to stop it. And in future what she should be careful of, and how she can find out if someone is reading her messages or not. Anyways, my DL is blown and I'm not reading any more of her messages. I know enough from the past 2 to 3 days and our confrontations, that she is protecting her emotional checkout with ex like a dragon. I have a very strong suspicion that physical checkout has also happened. If not full deed, definitely cuddling, hugging, etc. I have informed her that kids and myself is my priority. And how all that works out, I still need to figure out. Lots of tears, sad and angry outbursts, etc. When I brought up that it's kids and me only, wife still mentioned that we cannot live without friends, etc. and tried to justify that her staying in touch with ex will be justified. On confronting her about she's deleting her messages, she agrees she deletes some stuff after bringing up 3 times, but it's all silly FWDs and stuff. On further pushing her, she mentioned one more category she deletes and which is okay by me. But, even after me saying our relationship is over, she did not bring up the key ones that she is deleting. I told her, if I want and if you give me your phone, I will try to find what you deleted. Alligator tears. After my first confrontation, she actually asked X, "Will you still keep in contact or not?" to which X replies, "Absolutely. Any help and support is appreciated. For now I need to stay strong on my ground that it's kids and me only. I don't know how I'm going to navigate this, any help/guidance/advice is appreciated." What would kids and me only mean? Kids being so young, living separate would shatter them. I also need to keep my NG tendencies in check, because NG in me is going to get me on soft side and forget/forgive all this and do a new start. I just don't want to do that. What limited time and energy I have left, I want to put those towards kids and myself. Edit, update posted. Update, spouse hiding conversations. Update. I have not written up an update in a while. Here it is. My previous post is here, spouse hiding conversations after multiple confrontations, need support as it's me and kids only. Previous posts and updates were until May 6th. Today is June 15th, I will provide all that happened between May 6th and June 15th. First week of May. Friday night, before Mother's Day, my wife was determined to not go to sleep until she talked me out of all this. At 1 a.m. while I was sleeping in another room, she tried to come to me and give me tight hugs and whatnot while I was sleeping. I moved away and mentioned to let me sleep. She wanted to talk, so I sat up and we talked for about 1 to 2 hours. Where she explained how long and close herself and X have been. Not their relationship as BF/GF, but how X has helped her through thick and thin during her earlier years, when they were not even in a relationship. And so because of all this, these are such an important set of friends for her, and she cannot give them up. After our talk I told her to go to sleep in her room and I slept in another room. Saturday morning's wife behaved quite abnormally. She was overexcited to come help me in our community garden. She never likes me going there and working on our seasonal crop. But today, she wanted to come help me in the greenhouse, etc., so I took her help smile. Well, whatever she planted, about 40 plus seeds, none of them grew to a seedling. I think they also have feelings and noticed that the intentions were not pure at all. We did a few other errands that I had to finish and I took her to a park nearby to have a talk. I told her that I can understand what these friends mean to you, but our life is here, our kids are here, our 200% focus should be on our family and our kids. And no one can come in between that. I also quoted one of the messages that was going on between her and X, asked her, how am I to process this? She told me, since they are so seasoned friends, they keep passing on silly messages between each other and there is nothing beyond that. All this time I was noticing her body language, and it was telling me that all this was a complete lie. Her hands were constantly shaky when she was spitting out all this. Next day was Mother's Day and I at least wanted kids to have their mother back. I left it at that point telling her that I will talk to X about all this too and I don't want her to be goofing around with X. I know this was half-assed recon. Second week of May. I behaved all normal. Started finding some lawyers and consulted. As I was normal, things at home were calm and all was progressing as normal. All this week, my wife was trying to get physically intimate with me, but I was not fully into it. By the end of this week, one of the evenings after the kids went to sleep, my wife and I were watching TV. After about an hour our daughter woke up and I asked my wife to go put her back to sleep. Typically I would run. She went. As soon as she went, I checked her phone to just check what was going on, as I lost access to her WhatsApp. Lo and behold, Snapchat. Wife was sending her pic with an open shirt to X. As I noticed my wife was on her way back, I put the phone down as it was when she left. So, rest of the night, I tried to reread Follin's link and scan through this forum to see how I get access to whatever is going on with the new beast in town, Snapchat. Next day, I ended up installing MSP on her phone. I got lucky to get her phone in my hand for 5 to 10 minutes. She has been guarding her phone like crazy. While purchasing MSP, one of the fraud alerts went to her phone as well, but I think even till today she has ignored it. Rest of May. I found everything that was going on Scott. Unfortunately only keylogger is working. The evening I installed MSP, the phone went out of battery and restarted. So, screen capture is not working. But, keylogger does give a lot of info. I needed to reinstall the whole thing if I want the screen capture to work, haven't got another chance to do it. After getting all that is going on behind my back on Snapchat, I wanted to capture something live. Unfortunately I did not have a way to get voice recorders ordered, so, I found my old phones, put them on for purely voice recording function and have placed them at correct places. I was able to capture 3 to 4 of their episodes with voice recorders, where they are having an intimate time. By the end of May, I shared all of this with 2 of my closest friends. My wife is close to one of my friends too. June. I confronted her with a few difficult questions this month, like, after Mother's Day, have you been in touch with X outside of my knowledge? Have you been intimate with him even once, or even over the phone or anything? Did you have sex with him? Etc. I got no as in answer to all questions. I need to plan out the final confrontation a bit, which I'm working on. In the meantime I'm also working with a lawyer. When I confront my wife for this final time, she is going to be cornered and will not have anyone to go to. I'm quite concerned about this. I wish that this does not make her do harm to herself or do something drastic. She has a heart condition and has gone through an open heart surgery 2 years back. When I confronted her during the first week of May, it took a few days for her to physically recover back. And when I was pressing too hard, she mentioned more than once that there won't be any point to live anymore. I plan to tell her sisters a day prior to confrontation, so that they can be available for her support. She has no other friends she can reach out to. X, H and R are her closest friends and I plan to let H and R know. I also plan to let J know. One other reason I have been waiting on final confrontation is kids' school. Current week is their last week in school and given how the year has been with COVID, I wanted at least tail end of school year end with a bit normalcy. Maybe I should have already confronted all of this in May/early June and got done with all this drama. But, I'm not perfect in any sense and this time has given me more clarity and more strength of understanding and stands behind where my focus should be. Thanks for reading and all your support. I plan to tell her sisters a day prior to confrontation. Bad idea. You do know her sister is going to give her a heads up, right? What does your lawyer say? Confront or simply serve her with papers? I'm betting the latter. You can be right, or you can win. Your kids will rebound. Send them to your parents' house for the weekend. Confronting her serves no purpose. You already know more than you need to know. Do not go pain shopping. She has lied, multiple times, to your face. You will, in all likelihood, never get the complete truth. You're still trying to figure out why, where, when, etc., when you should be focusing on getting her out of the house, minimizing the financial damage, and how to co-parent. FYI, when you do let her know, however you chose to do so, I recommend following your lawyer's advice to the letter. Understand she will do anything and say anything to remain undivorced. Crying, yelling, gaslighting, trickle, truth, claiming it is all a mistake, she didn't know what she was doing, speaking in tongues, offering intimacy, et al. Good luck, cop. I suggest that you let the confrontation be her receiving the papers with the evidence. Arrange it so that you are out of town with the kids so that you can tell them in a calm manner. Once you have received the notification that she was served, call her family to fetch her. However romantic the idea is a final confrontation, the reality is that you will feel less satisfaction than expected, because you are not a person who is comfortable with inflicting that kind of pain. You already worry about her having health issues. Don't tell her sisters. They will definitely give her a heads up. If you think your wife will need support, tell her sister literally an hour before you tell your wife and let her know she needs to be there when she finds out. Repeat, do not trust your in-laws. No matter what your wife did, they are on her side. Her sister probably already knows. Don't let her use her illness as an excuse when you confront or serve her the divorce papers. She did not think of it when she cheated, why use it now? Tell her, she's no longer your concern, but she can still be a good mother to your children, so she keeps herself alive. Yes, tell ex's wife as well. Yeah, whenever I think about her well-being, just think that to her you are just a second option, her primary important soulmate is X. I will just say, separate from her as soon as possible. The more time you give, the more she will duck up and make you the bad guy. Gain as much support as you can before she turn everyone against you. She is a manipulating person, she needs both your comfort and safety, and also X for sex and cake eating. Also confront X's wife, since you are not doing anything to him, it gives him power to duck up your marriage and life. Make him know what karma feels like. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.